Hey, Kevin, can you give us an update on David Njoku, please, and whether you'll get him, Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward, or Clowney, any of the guys back?
Yeah, David in particular, he's working through an injury, so I think we'll see him out there limited, and the rest of the guys, we're just going to continue to be smart with them and see what they can do off the field as we make sure we're taking care of them in the short term.
And with Denzel, do you have a better feel? Because soreness is pretty mysterious to us. Is it something that you think will linger for a while, or do you think? I mean, is soreness an indication that it's not something to be very concerned about?
No, not trying to be mysterious. He's working through some soreness, and but he's doing a nice job. He's close.
Thanks, Nate. Jeff Shadell's next.
Hey, Kevin, I know we've talked about him before, but Bill Callahan, since we just got done talking to him about an hour ago, could you really go into what makes him so special as an offensive line coach?
Yeah, I'm happy to, Jeff. He's very sharp. He's meticulous. He coaches his guys hard, but he's very fair. He's got a great demeanor. He's excellent as a game planner. He's been through a lot. He's seen a lot as a coach, so he provides great value there to myself, to the other assistant coaches. But then just on a specific technique level, I just think he and Scott Peters do an outstanding job with our players in getting them better and utilizing techniques that get them better. So I think he's obviously outstanding in that regard.
Joe Ryder, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, just curious, have you asked the Haslams for a bigger indoor field house yet?
No. We can get our work done in there. It's going to be a lot of bodies. It's going to be hot and humid, but we can get our work done.
Just to follow on that, just real quick though, what will you have to scale back today? And, I know you said you're still going to get your work done, but having 50 yards and 90 guys doesn't seem like it is going to be all that efficient. So could you just maybe run through some of the challenges and what you'll have to, scale back?
Yeah, obviously we'd prefer to be outside if we can, but unfortunately, we got to go inside. I think the good news is we're working red zone today. We're working goal line today. So those are smaller area drills, if you will. And we've been in there before with the full team. So we'll space out as much as we can. And the intensity ramps up when you're inside and there's shorter area and you're not running from one field to the other. So we'll definitely get our work done.
Thanks.
Thanks, Daryl. Mary Kay Cab is next.
Hey, Coach, in talking to Jeff Howard today, we were asking him a little bit about Grant. He mentioned that Grant Delpit has only had an opportunity to play in about 9 of the team reps this season so far. Just wondering, what is the outlook for Grant in terms of, in addition to the hamstring, obviously he's got the Achilles, in trying to get ready and up to speed so that perhaps he could contribute early on in the season, maybe even in the Kansas City game?
Yeah, he's working hard, Mary Kay, to get back out there. And it's just, you can't rush that process. So when he's ready, he'll be out there and reps are a premium. We all know that. We talk about it all the time. So there's no substitute for those reps. So when he's ready, he's going to get a bunch of them. And it's what you do with those reps that matter, as you guys all know.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mary Kay. Scott Patrick, go ahead.
Hey, Kevin, yesterday we saw JC, take himself out of a drill and they wanted to finally going back in. But I was just curious, as a coach, when you see something like that happen or any guy get injured, how do you deal with that? And what's your thought process when it happens?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want anyone to get injured at any point. And as we all are well aware, and the players are well aware, injuries are part of this game. And we try to do everything in our power to stay safe and protect each other and practice really hard while taking care of each other. They try to do everything in their power prior to practice and training wise to make sure they're ready. But the stark reality is that injuries are part of the game. So fortunately, that was nothing serious for JC. I just, when I see something like that happen, I wait for the trainer to come over and give me an update, and got a good one in that particular play, but just got to make sure we get our work done and continue to take care of each other.
Thanks.
Appreciate it, Scott. Go to Dan Lobby.
Hey, Kevin, kind of along those lines, it did look like you kind of reminded the guys about that yesterday, but at the same time, when you have a really competitive sort of, I don't know if heated is the right word, but that's sort of what it felt like watching yesterday. Is that a good thing for you guys as long as guys are taking care of each other?
Yeah, definitely. It was hot out there. The guys when they're walking by me, I could hear their feet squishing because they got all the sweat in their feet. So yeah, you get hot and it can get physical, but the guys understand that there's a way we practice. You can get a lot of work done and take care of each other and be physical. You can fit up the runner and let him run. You can ball search. An offensive lineman can have a defensive lineman in position where in a normal game, you drive him into the ground, but you hold him up because he's your teammate. And it's vice versa. A safety can have a kill shot on a wide receiver coming over the middle, and you don't take that because it's your teammate. So the guys understand how we practice, how important it is to get our work in and do it safely.
Thanks, Dan. To Fred Greetham.
Hey, Coach. With your projected top three ends and Clowney and Miles and McKinley not practicing yesterday, it gave a chance for Weaver and Gusta and some of them other guys. Can you just assess how they're coming along and giving you some depth there?
Yeah, they're doing a nice job. I think the guys understand how we want to play from a technical standpoint, from a scheme standpoint. Those defensive line individual drills are competitive. You see the guys pushing each other. So to see those young guys out there and getting reps and doing a nice job, I think is important. And it's going to be important to do it today and then do it under the lights down in Jacksonville so we can evaluate these guys.
Go to Matt Fontana next.
Yeah, Kevin, I'm sorry if you said this or it's been asked, but you talked about the play calling in the preseason yesterday. Is it safe to assume you will be calling plays again this year for the regular season?
Yes.
And kind of off of that, we've heard so much from Baker talking about year two of the system, but now you're year two of a head coach and a play caller in this system. How much more comfortable are you now that everybody's kind of had a year under their belt?
Yeah, I think that's kind of what it is, Matt. Getting a year under your belt as an offensive staff, the communication that has to occur during a game, the communication that occurs between me and the defensive staff, the game management side of things. So we do have a year under belt. We know how we want to be better. We know how we can communicate better. And just talking about play calling, it does give me the opportunity to mention we do it very collaboratively. I'm very, very fortunate to have coaches on my staff that have called plays before, guys that are outstanding on game day in particular, and making sure that I have all the information that I need.
Next up, Tom Withers.
Thanks, Rob. Hey, Coach, when I mentioned Wyatt Teller, what's the first thing that pops into your head?
Well, I met his wife yesterday, so I got to say something nice. Tenacious, physical football player, can oftentimes is playing through the echo of the whistle. So he brings certainly a physicality to that group.
Yeah, I asked him before who the toughest guy on the team was, and I told him he couldn't say himself, and so he didn't. But what does it mean to have that kind of guy with that kind of an attitude? How infectious can that be across a team, Kevin?
Yeah, I think a lot of teams have that guy that plays a style, and if you're fortunate, you have multiple versions of that player. It's a physical football game, and to be able to have guys, particularly along the offensive and defensive line, like we do, that play a physical brand of football, I think it just plays into who we are as a team. So Wyatt is certainly part of that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. We have time for one more. Tony Grossi.
All right. I know you won't divulge all your play times, but would you at least admit that Baker will play in this game?
Admit that Baker will play, did you say?
Yeah.
Baker's not going to play in this game. I'll give you that one, Tony. But I'll let you guys know tomorrow. I'll give you a rundown tomorrow.
I'm sorry, did you say he will not play?
Confirmed, will not play.
Thank you.